Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I had the unfortunate task of reliving. Oh, I forgot. A really bad book. I gotta add it to the list. I have the unfortunate task of reliving the worst books I've read this year. And I've read so many bad books this year, this isn't all of them. Like, I hate to say this wasn't a good reading year, but the bad books put such a bad taste in my mouth that kind of makes you think I didn't have a good reading year. Like, I'm such an optimist that I'm like, okay, next year is gonna be great because, oh, I've read so many bad books. Okay, let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with one of the most beloved books in the world, which is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So, I'm not just gonna be a hater. Like, I finished Throne of Glass this year, enjoyed that. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't like Beauty and the Beast or any plots that are anywhere close to Beauty and the Beast. And so it wasn't for me. I gave it 3 stars. But, I heard, A Court of Mist and Fury is a fan favorite. So let me just pick up A Court of Mist and Fury and I just did not like it. Basically, in this book, the 2 male leads treat the female lead like she's a sack of potatoes and they just like pass her back and forth. And I'm just like, she has no agency at all. And I just absolutely hated that. The romance was cheesy, like the mountain shook during a spice scene and I just did not like it. So I'll leave it at that. I know this is like a very loved book, so we're just gonna move on. I don't even know the author of this book. Whatever, it'll be on screen. I read a book called, or someone in my stairway. I read a book called Poor Things because I saw a movie was coming out with, who's the star? Emma Stone. Emma Stone starred in the movie of Poor Things. The movie came out 2 years ago. I was like, oh, there's a book, let me just read it. It'll be like a cool, like Frankenstein sort of book. In this book, this girl dies, and the scientist, like, sciences her body in a way, and takes, is it the brain of a little girl and puts it into the body of a woman, I believe. I could have mixed that up. And so it was just too weird. I made a beautiful reading journal page for this book. Here it is. Okay, I didn't write it down. Dang it. And so basically, it's about this man, old man, who's in love with a woman who has a brain of a child. You can see the issues here. So yeah, very like pedophilic. And the main character sees another man who's in love with our female main character, and he's like, she is like mentally a child, like why does he like her? I'm like, you like her too. So this just didn't work for me, but I'm sure I'll like the movie because in comparison to the book, I'm sure I would just love the movie. So yeah, I do not recommend that book at all. Next is a really sad one because I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com. And I love Kimberly Lemming and the Mead and Mishap series. That series has The Time I Got Drunk in, is it Kissed a Demon? And The Time I Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf. I love all those books. Like, she's an amazing author, but this one was just too absurd, too much spice, and just kind of not enjoyable. So yeah, very sad about that. I also read Ice Planet Barbarians this year, and I didn't love it. So I just think that alien romance is not for me. The next book we have is Kiss of the Basilisk. This book probably holds the record for the most spice scenes. It's about a woman who's in a love triangle with a basilisk who is her spice tutor and the prince. There's just a lot of spice. That's basically this whole book. I counted, so I made a rough estimate of 47 spice scenes. That's not the exact number, but it's the ballpark. Honestly, the spice wasn't badly written, but it was just so much of it that this was like torturous to read. And this was just an endurance test, and it's just like a mental battle. Yeah, just a mental endurance test to finish this book. And the more I read it, I was just like, I want this to be over. Like, I just like had to finish it because it was like a test. It was like a mental toughness test, and I'm like, I have to pass this test. I have to finish this book. I don't know why. Anyway, it's just an exhausting book. That's what it is. I didn't even tell you what I rated these. These are all like 2 stars, basically. So next we have Silver Elite. I have a vlog about Silver Elite where I talk about what I thought about it. I don't remember what I really thought about it, but this is why this wasn't a good reading year for me, because I was just reading new books that were very popular and they weren't good. So I just read too many new releases that were just a waste of time. This was one of them. Silver Elite, like, it did have some funny moments, which is also the issue with the book. It was tonally off. Like, you can't have an intimidating dystopian world in which the main character is just joking around, kikiing, and hooking up. Like, it didn't have any severity to the world. Super predictable, super underdeveloped characters. It just didn't give anything. Like, I don't know. I kind of forgot everything about this book. Okay, so I found my notes for Silver Elite. So I found the characters were shallow. Every male was sexualized. It was focused on like physical attraction too much. There was no intimacy with these partners that she had. Everything was just physical, surface level. The characters were forgettable. I didn't get attached to them. There was no character development. It was very tropey. Cross, for example, was a very common character archetype. All the mods were affected by a bioweapon. We don't know what it's called. It just says bioweapon. The dialogue was very cringy. And yeah, I just wrote what I said about dystopia. It didn't feel dystopian at all because there's just so much spice. And this book, Silver Elite, is a sci-fi book actually, because they have their powers through a bioweapon. It's not romantasy. So this book is a marketing nightmare. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, the next book is written by an amazing author, but I did not like this book. This is Bare Bones in the Midnight Soil. Now I'm gonna start off by saying I am not alone, because we have Melanie Reeds, who DNF'd this book. She's on YouTube. Like, someone's on my side. Now, like, I guess word choice wise, it was well written, okay? The main problem is the structure. So V. Schwab said she wrote every character separately when she wrote the book. So basically there's 3 characters, and like she talks about character A, character B, character C, then back to B, back to A. And basically you could tell that she wrote each character individually. Character A the very first character you are introduced to, her name, saying her name is kind of a spoiler. She gets way too much real estate in the book. And I was interested in Alice, a character named Alice. And I don't think she got enough time to shine in the book. But that's kind of the least of the problems. So basically, character A took up so much of the book. And the part of the book that she took up was repetitive. Like, she would meet someone, like a man, you know, get engaged, he was terrible, then she would run. And then, like, every day or like when they were engaged, she would, like, sleep with him and then take precautions to make sure she doesn't get pregnant. And it's that same thing repeated over and over and over and over again. So not only was it completely unbalanced, one character got way more real estate in the book than the other two. Her storyline was so repetitive, so boring. And character C, we don't meet until 60-70% in the book. That is way too late to introduce a main character, in my opinion. So yeah, it's just the structure and all the characters not having the same number of pages in which they represented did not work. So yeah, this book just did not work. And I love V. Schwab, I love vampires, but this was boring, repetitive, poorly structured book. So yeah, very sorry about that. Well, yeah, I will continue to read V. Schwab, and I think she's great. So yeah, I'll add that note. Next is Face Off by Chelsea Curto. And this wasn't good. This just stings because I bought a physical copy of it. Oh yeah, there's a video of me hauling this book. And I'm like, I'm so excited to read it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. So it starts out, I think she writes in like an author's note, like, this book is about a girl that is in a all-male hockey league. And then the author says, Chelsea says, but, you know, don't worry about it. Like, I was like, okay, this author's note means she's gonna explain it in the book. There's no explanation why there's one singular woman in an all-male hockey league. There's no explanation at all. So I'm just like, okay, this girl is here. But yeah, like, this book didn't do anything terribly wrong. It just didn't do anything great. And in the book, the male lead says the line, touch her and you die. Hate to break it to you, but your girlfriend is playing a contact sport. She's gonna be touched. She's gonna be touched. That line doesn't belong in contemporary romance. And it doesn't belong in hockey romance. Hockey is a contact sport. Like, you're gonna kill a whole hockey team? Like, that line had no place. Authors need to stop saying touch her and you die, period. But no place in a hockey romance. So yeah, this book wasn't terrible, but it was like the most mediocre book I've ever read. And for that reason, I'm putting it on this list. Gosh, next is a big change. I read I Who Have Never Known Men, and I wish I did not. Don't read this book. Just watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt instead. Like, same thing about people in a bunker, well, women in a bunker. Just watch Kimmy Schmidt, please. I think part of the reason I didn't like this is it's translated from French into English, so I think the book might have got messed up in the translation. But it was so predictable, and it's one of those books where it tells you flat out in the story what what is the moral of the story. And I just hate when an author is like spoon feeding you like, this is the message of the story. But it's just about women who are trapped in a bunker and they escape and they realize there's no civilization surrounding them, and then they have to survive. So yeah, just watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. This is not good. Okay, next is another highly renowned, world-renowned literary work. This is a Pulitzer. How do you say it?
Is Pulitzer, like
a Pulitzer. This book is a Pulitzer Prize winner or Pulitzer Prize nominee, one of the two. It's called A Visit from the Goon Squad. Now, this is kind of user error. Let me see if I can find it on Goodreads. This book did win a Pulitzer Prize. So on Goodreads, it has a full description with all the dark topics in it. But on Libby, it doesn't. It just says, Benny is an aging former punk rocker and record executive. Sasha is a passionate, troubled young woman he employs. Here, Jennifer Egan brilliantly reveals their past, along with the inner lives of a host of other characters whose paths intersect with theirs. And then under that, it says, pitch perfect, darkly, rippingly funny. Egan possesses a satirist's eye and a romance novelist's heart. The New York Times Book Review. So that is all. So these two paragraphs. And then these are all the awards the book has. So I don't feel too bad about not liking it. If you want to read this book, I recommend read the Goodreads description, because this only gives me those two paragraphs that I just read to you. So I thought this was going to be a funny, like, book about a rock executives. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love like reading about the music industry. Like, I love deep cuts. Like, I gave that 5 stars. But no, this book is very dark. Like, I think in the beginning of the book, almost every chapter had suicide. And it's just, I just didn't find it funny at all. So yeah, this is kind of just an expectations thing. So if you go into this knowing it's really dark and full of suicide, like, I feel like you need to know that before going into the book. But this book just plays games on your mind. Like, there's one chapter that is from the perspective at the end of the book of a like infant, and it took me so long to realize and understand what I was reading. I could not understand what I was reading. And then there's one chapter that is just a slideshow. Yes, a slideshow. So this book is like designed to drive you crazy. This book did give me a breakdown, a little bit of a breakdown. So honestly, you just need to know what you're getting into before you read this. So very dark, very mind trippy. So yeah, that is A Visit from the Goon Squad. So it all just came down to me having the wrong expectation going in. So the next book that I have is The Right Move by Liz Tomforty. It's very sad, so dramatic, upset that I read 3 Windy City books. I read, oh God, what are they called? Right Move, Rewind It Back, and Play Along. And they were all disappointing. So yeah, she was just not the author for me. But I feel validated with The Right Move because the YouTuber Gabby Cheyenne, she did not like it either. So there's someone else who agrees with me. But basically, this book is about a famous, it's like, why do authors have to write about the most famous guy, like, in his field? Like, it's so unrealistic. Anyway, this is a tangent. The most famous basketball player in the world, of course. He has a sister who has a best friend who needs somewhere to stay. And that girl, Indy, she moves in with him naturally, because he just loves people so much. Like, no, he literally likes to be alone. So it doesn't make any sense that she would move in with him. Like, this story. And then they, like, fake date for no reason. Like, ugh. I can't stand. Like, the author already had the best friend's brother, roommates, what is it even called? Forced proximity trope. Like, you didn't need to throw fake dating. We already had enough tropes. Like, I can't stand when people fake date for like a reason that doesn't make any sense. So anyway, so I think his name is Ryan. Ryan's coach is like, you need to date to be more soft. So like he pretends to date it. Ugh. But anyway, Indy is just so unlikable. And like, I think this has to be after they decided to fake date. Indy goes out on a date with another guy. And Ryan was like, you can't be going out because you're supposed to be my fake girlfriend. And like the whole press. Anyway, this is kind of like not important. But basically, that's just one of the many examples where he like made a boundary and like she went outside it. But that, I didn't really care about that. She just invades his house. Like, she rearranges the whole place without his permission and just like only thinks about herself and just does whatever she wants. Like, you can't just move into someone's house and change all their furniture, rearrange everything, and just be so selfish. And she was just like twerking all over the place, and she was just like insufferable. I could not stand her. And these two people are not compatible. They're not compatible. So yeah, this was not good. Main reason, I just did not like the female main character. But it was not good. Very unrealistic. Didn't make sense. Like, Ryan did great things. Like, great things for her. She didn't do anything for him. She didn't do a thing for him. He did such nice things for her. Like, I think he built her a bookshop. He like made her iced coffee or something. But just because a guy does good things for a girl, that doesn't make it a good book. So yes, he did great things, but that does not a good book make. All right, the next book, Part of Your World, I disliked even more than The Right Move. The Right Move was kind of like a mild dislike, but Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. She's gotta be Alexis has got to be the most it's not that she's unlikable, she's a terrible human being. It's just the worst female lead I've ever read. So basically, you will agree with me when I explain. So in this book, we have a woman, I don't know, I think she broke up with her past partner. I don't remember if they're married or not. Who even knows? I think that happened before the book started, but she's living with her ex. She lives in this mansion. She's a doctor. Her ex is a doctor. She's very rich, comes from a long line of doctors. She's just so spoiled. She's never cooked, never cleaned. She doesn't know what a broom is, which I have a vlog when I talk about this book. How do you not know what a broom is? Like, that's one of my main problems with this book. First of all, like, even if you don't know what a broom is, like, have you not seen like any like Hocus Pocus or like any movies where like witches are riding on brooms at least? Like, you've never seen a broom in a commercial or a TV? Like, how do you not know what a broom is? Like, it's a very, like, it's like a vase, like a very common like house, a lamp. Like, these are basic objects, and you don't know what a broom is. That's a whole other thing. So basically, she goes into this small town one day. I don't remember the reason why. And she meets the hat owner of this like lodge or some sort of inn or something. And what was his name? Daniel? And so I don't know how she ends up going to a small town, but she does. I think she has a one night stand with Daniel. Daniel, he's an angel from above. And so she, like, I think she has a one night stand with him. He wants her to stay, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you know, eventually, probably not that very night, but she's like, you know, we can't really be a couple or anything. We have a great connection, but, you know, I'm from a rich town and you're like poor, so we can't be together. But somehow they kind of scrounge up a little bit of a long-term relationship. And another thing about Alexis not knowing how to cook or clean, that's fine. You don't know how to cook or clean. But not like putting any effort to learn how to do it, that's a different thing. And just like, oh, I just don't know what it is. You're not gonna like go to Google, type in what is a broom, like how to boil a potato. Like you have the internet. You can look things up. Like you're a doctor, you should know how to go on Google and like look things up. But anyway, so Alexis and Daniel scrounge together a little long distance relationship. I think they're like a couple hours from each other. I was especially mad while reading this because me and my boyfriend were long distance at the time and we were farther away than they were, and she was like complaining about that. And so basically they get a long distance relationship going. She visits him, I believe. Well, yeah, because it's impossible for him to visit her because she's living with her ex and she's never told him that. Again, that's the least of our problems. But one day, Alexis and her friends happened to come to Daniel's small town. I don't remember why. And she pretends she doesn't know Daniel. And she just, like, lies to her friends. And she's like, I don't know this guy. Like, he's so poor. Like, I don't know who this man is. Like, saying that, like, he knows me. Like, who is he? So she's, like, ashamed of him. She treats him so bad. She's lying to him and her friends. And like he's an amazing guy. And she's a terrible one. And she's ashamed of him. So she was ashamed of him. Like he should have left her a long time ago. But yeah, she treats him like utter garbage. And I think he like comes to her house to apologize, even though he didn't do anything wrong. And like I think he like finds out that she was like living with her ex or something. But anyway, who knows? Did she even apologize? I don't know. Let me know. But yeah, she is ashamed of this man, and Daniel's amazing. But yeah, it's so ridiculous that she's like, oh, I can't leave my rich lifestyle. And like, it shouldn't be such a tough decision to live with Daniel because she didn't even like her job. So I don't even know what the problem was. So anyway, we're gonna stop talking about Part of Your World. We're gonna pivot to Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. I don't really have much to say about this book. It just wasn't good. Like the spice was like interesting, I guess. Very spicy. This is just about a girl. She is a YouTuber, I guess, and she's kind of like a ghost hunter YouTuber, if you will. And she summons a demon. Now it's coming back to me. She like draws the pentagram and everything, summons the demon, and then she's like, "Oh, I was just doing it like for my channel. Like I didn't think a demon was actually gonna come. Like, why would you put effort into like going through the summoning ritual? Like she went through the entire summoning ritual to a T, and she's like, oh, I never thought the demon would actually show up. And then the demon tells her that this cult is trying to kidnap her to sacrifice her, and she like doesn't believe him. I'm like, how are you a paranormal YouTuber and you just don't believe what your whole channel is about? And so she just had no self-preservation. And I'm like, you are a paranormal YouTuber. You should have some sort of awareness and like some sort of self-preservation. But like she was just clueless, had no self-preservation. She like wasn't listening to the demon who told her like that this cult was after her. So yeah, it was just so much I didn't like about it. I just didn't like the writing, very cringy writing. And she had a black friend who said girl, girl every like 2 seconds. So yeah, it just wasn't good. Like anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. So another book we have is Tenderly I Am Devoured. I hate to say don't read this book, but don't read this book. Like, it's another bare bone situation. Like, it's beautifully written, but like the plot and the romance, like there's so much wrong with this book. So let me read this to you because this book is like, it's like a romantasy, but it's very hard to explain. And it's like weird genre. It's hard to put into a specific genre. So let me just read it to you. Perfect for fans of Saltburn, A Study in Drowning, and Don't Let the Forest In, Tenderly I Am Devoured is a moody, monstrously gothic, romantic folk horror. Okay, so that's what this says. Gothic romantic folk horror, that's what it says it is. In which a young woman must bind herself to a dangerous chthonic god with the help of the son's rival family to save rival family to save her family's legacy and herself from ruin. So just let that sink in. Okay. So basically, there's so much wrong with this book. It did have gorgeous descriptive writing, especially of nature. So yeah, it did have beautiful writing here and there. So it has two timelines. We have the present and the past when our main character, whatever Lark, was in this boarding school. The two timelines have nothing to do with each other. They were irrelevant. They were like two different books. So that's one issue. The fantasy elements were just so half-baked, but the plot was just a hot mess. Oh, I wrote down notes for this one. I made a really pretty reading journal spread. You know I don't like a book, I make a pretty reading journal page for it. So that's the reading journal page for that. Okay, here we go. So the book had so many romances. Like it had a romance while Lark was in boarding school that had nothing to do with anything. It's completely irrelevant. So many romances that I didn't care. The book was just confusing. The villain in this book came out of nowhere. The plot was so half-baked, it made no sense. It was like sometimes she was dreaming. It's like one of those books like you don't know if she's dreaming or not. So very confusing book. Like I can't even like give you like this is the plot of this book. It's kind of like impossible to describe. But the main problem was this incestuous throuple that was in this book. So basically, this girl was in a throuple with two siblings, a brother and sister. And they they end up in a throuple at the end of the book with brother and sister. And there's no acknowledgement of this is weird, like this is incest. Like we're just like, oh, we're just not gonna talk about it. So it was icky. It was icky. So yeah, this book, oh, what happened? What happened? Like, maybe you could have a throuple where they could work out some arrangement where the brother is with like in this season and the sister's with like in this season, but there's no acknowledgement that this brother and sister duo were in love with the same girl and they were all like in the throuple together. Like the brother and sister didn't hook up, but they were still like a throuple. So they had no acknowledgement of that, and that really bothered me. It was just so icky. Just mainly that throuple. So yeah, this is just a weird book. I don't know what to tell you. I can't really describe the book. But I just don't recommend it. It's very icky. Did not like it. Okay, last book is The Famous Magnolia Parks. So, oh god, behind me, I have, this is Daisy Hates. I really like this book. I read this book first. This is Daisy Hates. So basically, if you don't know, there's a series called the Magnolia Parks Universe. The first book is Magnolia Parks. This is the second book, Daisy Hates. So the books alternate. Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates. I only like the Daisy Hates part of the series. So the Magnolia Parks part of the series is torture. The Magnolia Parks books focus on Magnolia Parks and BJ Valentine. They are both terrible people and they should not be together. And so the whole first book is them breaking up, them getting back together, them breaking up. It's so repetitive. They date people to make the other person jealous. And it's just nonstop. But I don't know, like, what's more irritating, like, that I don't like the characters, so repetitive, so exhausting. But Magnolia and BJ, he also does it, describes every outfit that every character wears. It's so, like, I don't even know the word for it. I just have to glaze my eyes over the outfit descriptions. And it's like, and I also hated all the name dropping. It's like Magnolia's dad is a pop music producer, I believe, or he's like a record executive, something in the music industry. And he's always name dropping. They're always talking about famous musicians and actresses as well. And it just takes me out of the story, and I can't stand it. I can't stand when people are famous in books that are never famous in real life. Like, Magnolia Parks is famous for some reason. Like, can you name a pop music producer's daughter that doesn't make music herself? I can't. Like, I can't stand in books when someone is famous for like, who would never be famous, like, in real life. But anyway, that's a whole another thing. But yeah, this book is just, I just don't think it's well written either. I think, you know, the writing gets better as the series goes, so I just don't think it's a good, well written book either, Magnolia Parks. And then, she likes fashion, Magnolia, but in a way that's like, I know a big part of fashion is like hating on people who aren't fashionable, but she does it in a very disgusting, like, classist way, where it's like, oh wow, like, you're wearing clothes from that store, like, you're poor. Like, it's in a gross classist way. So yeah, I don't like either of them. BJ is, he's one of my least favorite book characters of all time. Like, he's awful. I've read more of the series, and like, there's nothing that could like make me like him. Like, he is awful. Magnolia Parks, she's not as bad as him, but I just don't like her. And their relationship is so shallow. It's like, we're only together because we've been together for so long. Like, that's not a reason to stay with someone. And he just is constantly cheating on her, and like, and then he blames his cheating on her, of course. But it's like, it doesn't matter if you have history with someone. Just because you love them and then you have history, that does not mean you should be with them. So it's just so terrible. Like, I don't know why Magnolia is just getting cheated on and keeps going back to him over and over again. I don't know. I don't like their relationship. I don't like them. And I didn't think Magnolia Parks was well written. So anyway, that ends the video. I've been talking for so long. So I'm gonna go. Eventually, in a couple of weeks, I'll release my best books of 2025 video. So it won't be all negative. So I will see you in that video. I'm so tired now.